to my corner of the world. So here we are. Is it June the 18th already? I can't believe that we're more than halfway more than halfway through June. So first of all, I am going to make an apology. Last week my live was just, well, I don't know, technology got the better of me and I don't know what happened. But what I am going to do is I will go ahead and reshoot the video so that I can share the card with you that I made. I really loved it in the end. I was so happy with it. I was just so sad that things went so horribly wrong. I haven't had a chance to do it just yet. It's been a busy week for me. I've had 4 classes this week and then my catalogue launch yesterday. So this morning I sat and had a think, as I normally do, about what I'd like to share with you today. And as we've had a new catalogue just released, there's goodies in there that I would like to share with you. So the stamps that I've chosen to use today is Layering Leaves, and it goes with a punch that has been in the catalogue for at least a year, maybe a bit longer, can't remember. And so we can use something that's already in our stash. And for my colours, again, I want to use some of the new core colours that have come into the Stampin' Up! Family. And I think that's just the new core colours. I don't think I'm using any of the new in colours. I don't think so. But that will give me a chance to share some of these lovely new embellishments. And if you are part of my embellishment, ribbon embellishment and paper share, you will get some of these. And this is another of the ribbons. It comes in a 3-pack, this one here. So we've got the bubble bath. I'll keep wanting to say bubble gum. I don't quite know. Just me, I guess. Azure Afternoon and Lemon Lolly. So that's the 3-pack. And I've just pulled out the bubble bath at the moment. So those are the things that I thought we would use. So if you remember, whenever I do a live, I kind of start with an idea and then I work the card live with you. We go through the design process, and in the right hand side of your screen you'll see a chat box. Maybe you'll make a comment or two in there, let me know that you are out there. And also you can help in the design process. And one of the things that we're going to start by doing is I'm going to share the colours I've pulled out, and I'm in 2 minds about which pinky colour I'm going to use. So my base colours are going to be the newly introduced Pretty Peacock. It used to be an in colour a few years ago, but it's come back as a member of the core colours. And one that I already have in my stash, which is Pool Party. I think they have, they go beautifully together. So I'm looking for my 3rd colour, and I'm toying with Bubble Bath, which is a brand new colour introduced into the core family, or Fresh Freesia, which recently retired as a in colour, but moved straight into the core colour family. So that's, if you like, your first decision to help me make. If if we use the bubble bath, I've got a lovely ribbon, although having said that, the bubble bath ribbon goes beautifully on the Fresh Freesia as well. So that's one. And then the other decision making process is that this packet of embellishments, which is called Opaque Ovals, has the bubble bath in it, and this pack, which is called Tinsel Gem, has got the Fresh Freesia, and it's got kind of it has got a little bit of glitter in there. So those are our decisions. So if there's anybody out there watching me, I'll give you a few moments. Either should we go with bubble bath or should we go with Fresh Freesia? So that's what we're going to work with. And I'll pop those to one side so they don't get in the way. And I just got to remember where I put them. Also, we have a new embossing folder, and this literally arrived last night. And so you can see I haven't even opened it yet, but it's got flowers in it, and it's got some leaves, and I think that'll pick really nicely up on this stamp set. So layering leaves, it is a photopolymer stamp set, and again you can see I've not even used it yet, and it's two-step stamping, so it gives you the outline of leaves, and then it also gives you the filler so that you can colour them in, and as you can see, lots of lovely greetings in a super duper wonderful set of fonts. And those of you who know me know that I do like my scripted fonts, and a stamp set with both images and words is right up my street. So I'm really thrilled with this particular stamp set. Okay, let's see what we can make of it to this today. Right, so here's my two colours. It's just a case of deciding, do we use the dark peacock for the base, or do we use this one? I've got some scraps here. We're going to use some scraps. So this is like the pool party. I'm just finding some scraps here and finding all sorts of weird and wonderful shapes. So I'm wondering whether or not that we have a base of that colour or a base of this colour. Not quite sure just yet, but I've got to make my mind up. I think I'm going to go for the darker colour here. I think I might do that. So let's see what we can do here. So I think I'm going to make a fun fold, an easy fun fold, a really easy fun fold, and I'm going to cut this at 4 1/4. So this is just half a sheet, 4 1/4 by 11, and that's my half a sheet there. And I'm going to cut off 2 3/4. So that's like a quarter of this is coming off. And then I'm going to score at 5 1/2. And when I get to that point, you'll be able to see what I've done. Right. So there's my quarter of a sheet coming off there. If I put my fold in like this, I'm going to use this piece to do that. It's not very clear at the moment because it's all on the same level. So to make it clearer, let's go ahead and get a piece of white. to make a liner. So how big is this piece? So this is only 5. Okay, so I'm going to cut a piece 5 1/4 by 4. And that's going to be my inside piece, because this is so dark. I want to be able to write, you know, my "To You, Love from Me" on there. And so when that piece goes there, you can see that the card will actually sort of stand like this. Okay, right. Now, I haven't had any suggestions just yet about which of these colours to go for. So I'll give you a couple more minutes, and I'm going to do my first, oops, something just fell on the floor. I'm going to do my first layer. I think I'm going to use this. Okay, so there's my pool party piece. So I'm going to trim this down. I know that this is 4 1/4, so this has to be 4. That's that. And so this is 2 3/4, so I'm going to make this 2 1/2. So really I'm just giving myself like a 1/4 of an inch border there. And then I need a white piece, so let's see. No. So I know that this is 2 1/2 by 4, so this needs to be 3 3/4. 3 3/4. Let me think again. Alrighty. So I cut that 2 1/2. So this needs to be 2 1/4 to give me my 1/4 of an inch. Like that. Okay. Now then, I'm going to pick my bits up that just fell on the floor. So I'm thinking about whether or not to put this colour here, so that's the bubble bath, or this colour, which is the fresh freesia, underneath there, or whether to put this here, that's the pool party, like that. So you've got, and then not use this kit card colour at all, but use ink colour to use the pool party, the pretty peacock, and the fresh freesia inks. Or the bubble bath. I didn't get the bubble bath out. Let's see, where's bubble bath? There we go. I haven't even opened up the bubble bath one. That's still sealed. Okay. You see, I'm really, really taken with this ribbon. I think I really want to use this ribbon. And we've got some of these ovals. They're not sparkly, but if you look really closely in this ribbon, there is the tiniest little bit of silver thread which I'm thinking will work for that. Okay. Right, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Bubble Bath, so that can go away, that Fresh Freesia. The Fresh Freesia can go away from here. I'll just pop that on the floor behind me. And I'm going to, so that Fresh Freesia, that can go on the floor behind me. Right, so now I'm going to cut these panels apart. I'm going to do one in each colour, and then we're going to see what it looks like. So this is 4 by 2 3/4, so I'm going to cut this, 4 1/4, so 4 by 2 1/2. So 4 by 2 1/2. So is that 2 1/2 wide? Yes. So if I cut this piece 4 by 2 1/2, and I'm going to cut this piece as well, and then we can decide what we like. So 4 by 2 1/2. Well, I can still see that I am live, so whatever my problem was last week with the technology, it seems to have gone away. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed that things continue to behave themselves. Right, now we've got to use this new embossing folder. I love embossing folders. It's like magic that you put in a piece of ordinary plain card and it comes out with a beautiful pattern on it. Okay, so this is a thin embossing folder. So it's not one of the 3D ones. So that means that when we emboss the card, we are going to use 2 plates, 2 clear plates. So I'll show you my sandwich in a minute, so that you know what I mean by using 2 plates. So this is called Countryside Blossoms. Let's get my machine out, and it's drugged all sorts of bits with it. There you go, let's get that out of the way. Okay, so for this I'm going to be using my number 1 plate. That's the big base plate, and you always use this when you're working with your cut and emboss machine. And then I'm going to use a number 3 plate. That's your clear plate. You can see mine are well loved. This one has got a little bit of a bow in it, but it still works perfectly fine. So that's what we're going to carry on using. And to save time, I've put both of these pieces of card in here, and I'm going to put it hinge first into my machine, and then another number 3 plate. This plate is so old it doesn't even have a number on it. I think probably I've been using this one easily for 5 or 6 years. So if you look after your plates, they will last a long time. All right, so now we've got that done. Pop this back. Oops. Right. See what we've got. Get this out the way. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, I hope you can see this. It's got really lovely, it's got little flowers, swirls, leaves, oh yes, this is very pretty. And you know, I think that this would make a really good embossing folder for doing the inked embossing folder technique, which I think I did a video on. This is where you use ink with your embossing folder so that the ink goes in the downy bit, and the uppy bit in the embossing folder stays the original card colour. I am going to be having an experiment with that at some point. Okay, so now this is where I have to make my mind up. So there's my front piece. So do I do that and then maybe use some of this ribbon to bring the pink in like that, and also some ink? Or should I do this and bring in some pink as well so it doesn't look too lonely? Well, I love both of them. Well, how am I going to decide? How am I going to decide? And this is how I work when I design for my classes and the other things that I share on online or on YouTube. I kind of play around with colors and things. I'm going to use this color. I'm going to use this color. If you're watching this on the replay and you think that maybe another color would have been better, the other color would have been better, just share. I'd like to know what your thoughts are. Okay, so let's get some of this put down. So I've got a nice little border here. And I've got a bit of adhesive smooching out there. Come on, get out of it. There we go. So I'm committed now. I am committed. I'm also going to attach these two pieces together. So now I've got less bits floating around to lose. Right. Well, I'm not even sure if I'm going to use that punch yet. I haven't thought about it. Right, let's do some stamping. So this is going to be my focal piece, and then I've got my inside piece, and then I need an envelope because we have to have an envelope ready for when we want to post the card. All right, now then. So first of all, I need to choose my greeting. Now there's best wishes, and I like best wishes because it can cover many, many occasions. Although somebody told me last year sometime that best wishes to them meant on a wedding card, and I'd never come across that thought before. But I'm wondering about sending hugs, because you could use that for a birthday. You could use it as an inspiration to, you know, say somebody you're thinking of them. There is a thinking of you. There's a thank you. There's a hello. So happy to celebrate you. I'm going to do sending hugs. That's what we're going to do. Particularly if it's somebody that I can't see frequently. We just got back from visiting family in the UK, and it was just wonderful seeing everybody and giving the hugs in person. So my my thought is maybe to have sending hugs on the front panel, but maybe, let's see, if we pop that in there and see, will sending hugs show underneath there? Well, it might do if I line it up properly. See, my tendency is to center this way as well as that way, but do I need to? Is that the engineer in me coming out to have everything centered? It looks better. It looks better centered. All right, I'm gonna if I do that, and then I've got some nice little stamps here. Ooh, dotty one. Oh, well, that's got to go onto a block straight away. You don't know about me and dotty stamps? Oh, love dotty stamps. So we're just going to decide now whether or not let's use the solid one. Like this. There we go. We've also got this one. I'm just going to put them all, these on blocks. I'm going to have a leaf palooza here, if such thing exists. There we go. And then there, I'm going to show you how to do the filling. So we'll take the fill-in one as well. And I wonder whether or not to, I've nearly stripped this entire packet out. Okay, so there's this little one as well. That's quite cute. Right, so now I've got all my toys out. Let's go ahead and do some stamping. Right, so this is the peacock, the pretty peacock. Ooh, isn't that lovely? So I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna pop it here. Like that. Right, so that's that committed. Now then, let's see this one. So this is, oh, that's not going to work because it's got a scoring tool on it. And use my dotty stamp. And I'm going to stamp off, and I'm going to put a little bit of texture here. Right, so that's that. And then I think I'm going to use this little one here. Oh, I just knocked my camera, sorry. Oh, I've not used this colour before. Oh, it's really quite delicate. Oh yes, very delicate. So we have that like that. So maybe we'll leave it like that for now. And I'll decide what I'm going to do with my envelope shortly. Right. So let's see. Maybe what we'll do is we'll use the strongest colour here. So this is the open leaf. I'm going to test it out on my piece of paper first. Lovely. How gorgeous is that? And I'm going to put and I'm going to use the filler stamp. So with the filler stamp, you can see that you can just line it up with the image underneath. So I'm going to practice. So I'm using the Pool Party ink, and I'm just going to fill up. Oh, now that I like. That is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Didn't line that one up as well as I should have done. I'm trying not to get my head in the camera. And that's a bit better. And as I said earlier, this is like two-step stamping. So you lay your one colour down and then you put the other one in. What do you think to that? If you like it, give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to move that out the way. And we've got another, so that went with that and that went with that. I've got another leaf, but I don't think I'm going to use that one. So let's get some of this little pinky piece in. Like that. Right. So we're going to close this down a minute. And now I'm going to go back to my dotty stamp. And I'm going to stamp off again. And I'm just going to fill in all over. And really give this the dot treatment. All right, okay. So let's see, what should we do? I'm gonna do this leaf on the envelope because I really love that two-step stamping effect. I think that is magnificent. So now this is a very old stamp pad, and it kind of has broken a little bit. The hinge is gone, but it still works perfectly, and I can't bring myself to throw away something that is working. Just because it's got a little bit of damage on it. There's my envelope. Well, I do hope you're enjoying this. because I'm having lots of fun. So I'm just going to pop this back together again. You can just see here that that little bit is broken off. I can't begin to tell you how old this stamp pad is, but it just shows you how long that they last for. I have got a new one, but I'm not going to get it out just yet while this one's working. Okay, so we're going to put that in there like that, and then just bring that down in there and close it like that. And I've got some tape on it, but it looks like the stickiness of the tape has gone, but never mind. I think I've finished with that. I'm going to pop that over there like that. Alrighty, so we're going to assemble this piece onto here. And I'm going to put this piece inside. Make sure it's the right way up, Cindy, otherwise you're going to be very disappointed. So a very easy fun fold. Really, I mean, to call it a fun fold is probably exaggerating a bit, but I guess it is, because, you know, it's not a regular fold, it's just a fun fold. Okay, so now we're going to do the ribbon. Now the ribbon, she comes. Right, that's what we'll do. So this is a technique that I use on all my cards. I don't wind the ribbon around the entire piece and then try and tie it, because I find that I can never get it nice and tight, and I can never get the bow or the knot looking nice. So I just cut a piece and then just use a little bit of tape and just make sure it's level, and it also cuts down on the bulk. I send an awful lot of cards overseas, and if you've got a technique for reducing the bulk, boy does that help with the postage. And then a good old rub with my bone folder to just make sure that that is well and truly set down. I have this fear that when I send a card, someone will open it and it'll just fall apart. Okay, so let's go with some dimensionals. Now I'm going to put 2 dimensionals here like this, but 2 aren't going to be enough to hold it in place, so I'm going to put the other 2 here. And by putting it on this piece of the side of the card instead of on this piece, it makes sure that I know exactly where it is. Because if I have to, I suppose I could do it like that and put it there and there, but now I'm not worried that there's going to be some sticky overhanging here. Alright, did I take this? I did. So now I'm just going to center everything up, because I already made my mind up that centering is the way I wanted to go with this. There we go. So you can see I've not got to worry about having these peeking out. So now I can do a bow or I can do a knot. Let's just do a knot. So it looks like I've wound the ribbon around my piece of card and just tied it off with a knot. And I always work off the bolt of ribbon rather than to cut a length, because if I cut too much and I have to trim it off, it breaks my heart. And if I don't cut enough off and I can't use that piece, it breaks my heart as well. So I always work off of the bolt of ribbon like that. So all I've done is wasted this tiny little piece, and my heart can stand that waste. Right. Okay, so let's pop that aside. And the only thing I haven't really used actually is the punch. And I'm not sure whether or not I want to put a punched piece on here after all of that. And I've got these. But I will show you how to work the punch with these new stamps, because that's what they were designed for as well. So we've got some nice colours. Now these are some of the new colours that they've introduced into the core family. So we've got Pecan Pie, Lemon Lolly, Bubble Bath, and Azure Afternoon. See, aren't you impressed that I know those names already? Whew. Right. So, well, I don't know. Are these the ones or not? I'm just looking at this colour. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, that is Bubble Bath. That makes sense. Phew. So we'll just pop a couple. We've got a few empty spaces that don't have dots on. So we just give it a little bit of a lift. There, like that. And I'm going to leave it like that. I know people say odd numbers, but I'm going to stick with just the two, and there we have the card. Okay, now let's just look at using this with the punch, just so that you can see how to work it. Now, you could do two at a time, and I'll show you how we could do that. So we can start by cutting out these pieces, and now we've got a template. So what we can do is making sure I don't get too much of an inky finger. Okay, we can take this one and we can position it. I'll leave it on here. We can position it here on there like that, and I'll take the one I didn't use and we can position that like that. Now by doing this, we know that they're in the right position for the punch. And we'll do it in a nice dark colour so it's easy for you to see. So we're going to just stamp it down like that. And then we're going to line it up in the punch. So I'm just making sure that the stems are lined up. And if I gently squeeze this punch once, it'll hold it in place so that it doesn't wander off. And then I can bring my other hand round to do that. And there I've got my punched pieces. And I mean, I could, I suppose, pop them in, but I think it would be overkill. So now I've got these pieces here, and I'm going to attempt to put that, maybe put that filler in to give it, let's see how that works. I use the same filler. I should be able to line it up. Oh, I would if I could see it. It's not showing against that piece of white scratch paper. Don't think I've got it quite lined up. So I'm trying not to get my head in. Not as good as I hoped. Can't turn it over because it's one-sided. Let's just cut another piece out. See if I can have a second hit at it. And this time, if I do put my head in it, I apologise. I just want to show you that if you do it properly, it works. Ah, keeps moving. Don't think I got it quite yet. Not quite. I'm just trying to rush so I don't waste your time. But anyway, you can create some leaves like that, or you can create them by, as I showed you, making yourself a sort of a stencil, placing the stamp face down in that stencil, and then picking up with your block, and then that way they are in exactly the right position for you to be able to punch them out. I hope you found that to be a useful tip. Right, so let's just clear the decks and we'll just go and have another look at our card and what we've created today on our live. So let's see where we are. So we have used 2 of the new colours as well as an old favourite, Pool Party. So we've got Bubble Bath and Pretty Peacock. So those are our colours. Here's our card, which I'm loving, and with the layering leaves stamp set. And we also used the new embossing folder, Countryside Blossoms, and we just did a little bit of work on how to line this punch up with the stamped images. Well, I do hope that you have enjoyed my live today, how we've gone ahead and designed this card. I certainly have enjoyed sharing the idea with you. If you've enjoyed, perhaps you'll go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you don't already, perhaps you'll go ahead and subscribe to my my channel. Well, I'll look forward to seeing you next time. I will be back again at noon next Sunday. Well, thank you and bye bye for now.